Hey, Hassanzai here, and today I'm going to talk to you about the age of discovery in East Asia with my partner,
Ragan.
What most people don't know about East Asia is that everyone is naturally born smart.
Except for Nathan, that is.
I'm only 1/4.
Whatever,
Nathan. Rose, don't make Asian jokes. That's just wrong.
That's a knee slapper. Really though, East Asia during the age of discovery was in a period of political instability and economic chaos.
There was also many social, economic, and governmental and political changes.
What's up, Yongo?
What's up, Hongo?
You want to make a centralized government?
Yeah. You know what? I'm off to make the Great Wall of China right
You
now.
gonna do that?
Alright, let's go!
Starting off with China. The Ming Dynasty was in search of stability in the nation after taking down the Mongol-ruled Yuan dynasty.
The founder of the Ming, Hongwu, already restored native power to China by removing all traces of Mongols and their culture.
Hongwu created a tightly centralized government in China that helped keep control of its citizens.
The use of the Mandarins and imperial officials saw that government policies were implemented into Chinese society and helped the empire keep tabs on all of his land.
The Emperor Yongle changed many things about China to prevent further.
Hey China, I'm Mongols.
I don't want nothing to do with you. I want you and your people to get out of China and go.
Okay then.
Invasion.
The creation of the Yongle Encyclopedia and the Great Wall of China helped further remove Mongol culture from China by going back to more traditional ways of culture and living.
After the Ming Dynasty fell due to famine and disease, a new group ventured into China.
The Manchu people poured into China from Manchuria and called their dynasty the King Pure Dynasty.
Hey, Yongo.
Yes, Hongwu?
Did you just get taken over by pirates, disease, and famine?
I think we did, Hongwu. I think we did.
Much of the Qing's policies and culture were similar to the Ming's.
A new way of life introduced by the Qing, however, was Confucianism.
Kangxi, a Qing emperor, was a Confucian scholar and applied his studies into the school system and social service and civil service exams.
Civil service exams consisted of a series of tests that only 300 students could pass to become a select Chinese official.
The being in a Confucian state of mind, China also established a patriarchy social status.
Women are mistreated, restrained, and controlled through techniques such as foot binding and arranged marriages.
They also believed in philopety, a system in which the father was the head of the house and the children were to obey the parents.
Son, put your shoes up.
No.
Based on philopety, you must obey me. Women were mistreated, restrained, and controlled through techniques such as foot binding and arranged marriages.
They also believed in philopety, which was the belief that men were the head of the household and the children were to obey the man of the household and the emperor.
The king's economy thrived during the dynasty's rule.
Foreign trade increased substantially, and China got imports from around the globe.
Due to voyages to the Americas and trade, agriculture thrived and population spiked up from 100 million to 160 million in a span of a century.
New crops consisted of maize, sweet potatoes, new rice, and peanuts and wheat.
New exports included porcelain and silk.
New technologies were unknown commodity in Qing, China, due to restrictive governments.
However, they did use gunpowder and other previous technologies.
In the early 16th century, European explorers exchanged ideas with China, a major one being Christianity.
Go.
Those silly Americans made us very rich.
Historian Christians established monasteries and churches in China.
Due to the Yuan dynasty, Roman Catholicism was prominent in Chinese commercial centers.
Unfortunately, Catholic ventures ultimately did not succeed in converting to Christianity, as China did not want to influence to change their society.
After the plague, the Yuan dynasty fell and the Ming got rid of Christianity.
Roman Catholic disappeared, but it soon came back in the 16th century.
So China did its thing and dynasties rose and fell, but in the meantime, Japan went through a unification. After the 14th century, conflicts between shogunate and retainers had grown too large to where Japan was in a state of civil war. During the 16th and 17th centuries, Japan was undergoing a unification, which would eventually lead to the end of a period of civil war and distress. After the war, Emperor Tokugawa Ieyasu developed a new form of government called Bakufu. The Tokugawa shogun sought to lay out a foundation for long-term stability in Japan. Military shoguns were governors who received political rights and large estates in exchange for military services. The emperor was also a form of a figurehead who had no real power in Japan. The real power went to the shogunate and the daimyo, who controlled foreign affairs and the whole country.
Shogun, go control those peasants.
Don't tell me what to do. You're just a figurehead. I run this place.
You thought
Boy,
The shogun controlled foreign affairs with countries such as Europe to make sure that the country was not destabilized and kept control over Japan. With this government, Japan's economy was thriving and new agriculture techniques and technologies were created, which led to more rice, which led to a way higher population. This also led to more money and exports and imports coming into Japan. Speaking of imports, something came in the mail today. Dear Emperors of Japan, you're all more fake than the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Best wishes, Nathan Morales. Like the Qing and Ming dynasties in China, Japan promoted Confucianism and filial piety. Ooh, yeah. Buddhism was also widely practiced in Japan. A Jesuit named Francis Xavier came into Japan to spread Christianity. The shogunate did not like this at all, as it tempered with their unification and could rupture their tightly woven central government by having different opinions in different places. The shogunate executed anyone who practiced Christianity and would not give it up, such as settlers and even Japanese who were Loud. Christian.
stop spreading Christianity.
never!
European ventures in Japan did not ultimately fail, though, as arts and languages were learned that Japan was not keen to before. Overall, the Age of Discovery in East Asia was a very important time period. Both Japan and China got unified after a state of disability and disarray, and the whole East Asia as a whole got more advanced and higher populations.